All right, welcome, chefs, to this episode. We're super excited for this one. This is our first ever sequel. We are revisiting the topic of awkward wedding moments. The first one was pretty bad, if I'm being honest. Very awkward, not only from your point of view, but from ours as well. Just reading the stories was a little painful. But we're grateful to have a fresh batch of these stories to read.
Nice.
A fresh batch.
Nice.
That was good. That was, oh no.
Quick finish, quick.
We are excited for this episode, and it is actually brought to you by one of our sponsors, Wedding Post House. We are good friends with Brady over there, and they have allowed us to have creative control of our edits, but they also do most of the boring stuff, and they're kind enough to partner with us and offer a discount to all of our community. So if you want in on that or to see what they're all about, check the links below and claim that discount. But without further introduction, let's cook.
Living in a daydream, ooh, such a sweet thing. Life on the big screen, it's such a beautiful scene, yeah.
Let's do this.
All right,
I'm really excited about this one.
guys, this is our first sequel to an episode.
Man, just listening back to our awkward ones, we were just so giggly and laughy because it was
So immature.
so awkward, and
So
it was our
childish.
second podcast.
Yeah,
But I will say that was probably the funnest one to record so far.
it's just like when you feel like, am I gonna get canceled for reading this? And that's where I want that's where I want to live.
Yeah, right on that
Live on
edge.
the edge.
Yeah, you want to be on the edge. Let us just drink from Voss and Fiji real quick while we get sponsored. Podcast 8 of trying to get sponsored by Water Company,
Fiji,
Voss. Is there a tagline for these?
Earth's finest water.
Artesian water from Norway.
Boring.
Dude, I don't know about you.
That's a snooze fest if I've ever heard
Dude,
of a
Norway water,
phrase.
though? Norway water?
We should have our podcast have a catch title like
Let's cook.
exploit. Oh, I guess we do have one.
Yeah, we kind of do.
Anyway, all right. Awkward moments.
All right. Awkward moments, part 2. The
First of all,
sequel.
we also
Don't have a new
eaten
chocolate.
chocolate from last week,
We should just, yeah.
which is actually the same week. Spoiler alert.
Why didn't we just do one bar last episode and then kept this one for the next? We were just so excited to get our hands on it.
Colby.
All right. And when we eat these chocolates, we try not to eat right into the mic, but sometimes we just can't help
Unless
it.
you guys are into that.
Yeah, unless you're into that, then please, we'll eat into the
I
mic. while
hate
you want.
hearing people eat, so I'm so sorry.
Me too. Me too. But let me just eat this real quick.
Yeah.
Tell them something cool.
Guys, if you have an awkward moment you want to submit, whether you're a guest, a planner, a vendor, venue, anything, submit your stories, link below. This is an episode written by you, by the people, for the people. All right, this first story is from a photographer.
A one-sentence banger. Pun intended.
My couple disappeared to go to the hanky-panky. I had to be the one to find them behind a barn getting it on. We're right in it.
I thought it said film. I would be the one to film them. It's like, whoa.
I don't want to do this.
Whoa.
They're not paying me enough.
Tears streaming. Going back to the previous awkward moments, do you think the thigh strap was on?
That'd be wild. The
Record
mic.
the audio. F it.
It's so gross.
Yeah,
Never had that happen. It'd be so awkward.
just find a room. Literally get a room.
Behind a barn's wild.
Behind a barn is crazy.
Also, videographers shouldn't go find couples. I think that should be somebody else's job.
Well, I bet this photographer, first up, come on,
Photographer.
get the story
Okay,
straight.
Photographer, it's usually
Maybe they were just
their
looking.
job,
Well,
yeah.
no. Usually photographers have their gear just right on them. If it was videographer, they're like looking for their lights or whatever.
Do you take the picture?
Burst mode.
No, you don't. You don't.
Deliver it to them. It's, hey, document, don't produce. Am I right?
Too far. Just no.
Hey,
No.
guys, here's your gallery. This is part of your wedding
No, I
day.
charge a premium for that content.
Yeah. No, yeah, in all seriousness, definitely not. I would pretend like I didn't.
We thought about offering a honeymoon package if he wants to come up with you on your honeymoon. And we we're gonna call it the Minuteman package.
I guess we're telling it to the public now.
If we were gonna like be in the hotel room with you, it's more like we'll come on your vacation with you and like film you walking around Disney World or something.
Yeah.
But either way, I think the Minuteman package had a great ring to it.
It was a joke. 100% was a joke, but
We're for sale.
If you pay us, we'll be there.
That's
Question
so
though,
wild.
how do you?
What do you say
How do
after?
you know? Well, how do you know?
I think walking on somebody in the bathroom is awkward enough. But
Right.
walking on somebody just completely consummating the marriage, it's wild.
I feel like I'd hear it, and I feel like it's common enough.
Wait, it's behind a barn, so maybe you're hearing cows moo, and you're thinking,
Cows
oh, it
don't
must
make
be-
cows
You're
don't
like,
make
"Oh,
that.
there must be a
Cows
cow
don't
behind the
make that
barn."
sound. It would be a very strange. Like, yeah, no, those are human noises that I'm hearing as I'm about to turn this corner. And I feel like it's a pretty common thing.
They're
Like,
just quiet lovers.
gosh, I wish I would like to think I would see that coming. You know, because it happens. Like people, some
Outdoors,
couples
maybe
are
the
crazy.
music's playing. Maybe it's like
I hope they're far away from the music. If they're close to the music, that means they're close to a lot of guests.
and if there's kids at this wedding,
Man,
which there always are,
kids are going to be
that's a
running around
lawsuit waiting to happen.
They're always playing around the barn. Animals.
Don't you?
Hey.
Don't you go to jail for public indecency in this scenario, or does the private property law override that?
This is me just exposing my own lack of knowledge on this. Is it public indecency?
Yes.
My understanding was it was always a solo act. If you're doing that alone.
No, both.
Really?
Oh yeah. You can't just go.
But you're on a private venue.
But there, if
It's
it was
private.
their backyard,
not
maybe
public.
it's more kosher. But if you're at a venue, that's even more strict.
But it's not public.
You have guests. Yeah, it's not public.
It's a
I'm
private
saying if it was like
event.
in their backyard type of wedding. But
I don't
still,
think
like,
so.
there should be some rules if like you're hosting people in your home.
There should be rules around
This is the
reproduction.
swinger
Is that what
couple
you're
from
saying?
last week.
Oh my gosh.
They were waiting for the videographer to approach.
Well, no, that was the best man. That was the swinger. Yeah, I don't like
gross.
that. Not a fan of
So
that.
sad.
Pretty crazy couple though.
Yeah.
Go inside, please. To just do it out in the middle of the open
Just
with
wait
no coverage.
3 hours, bro.
Please, yeah, come on. All right, next
Behind
one.
a barn can't be that romantic.
Maybe they're
Anyway,
a farmer couple. I don't know. All right, awkward moments. Story number 2 from a planner. These are my favorite. I love the planner stories.
me too.
I had a super sweet and quiet couple. You already know this is going to get freaky.
Oh,
All right.
man.
Come wedding day, everything was going amazing, beautiful, on time, and we made it to dancing, which always means smooth sailing from there, unless there's a barn close by. It's about 30 minutes until the wedding ends, and our couple is vibing on the
stretch.
dance floor, and we love to see it. I swear I blinked, and I look back over towards the dance floor, and I see the bride projectile vomiting everywhere onto a table. She sat down and was throwing up all over the linens, her dress, and the floor. Catering
I hate stories about throwing up.
catering staff started handing them pitchers, and she even filled up with
the chunky floaties.
This is like a Family Guy episode. She filled up a few of the pitchers.
You filled up a few pitchers,
No
bride?
way, man. Holy cow. Oh, the wedding had taken a turn for the worse. I had to ask the music to stop early, guests exit, and the bride was carried out by a few guys over to her car. I'll never forget it. Everything was so smooth, and I felt so bad to see her sick. What did they put in the food? What?
That's so gross,
It make
bro.
the catering. Oh,
Keep it down, honey.
keep it.
I don't want to see
Yeah,
that
let's
on your
blame it
wedding
on
day.
her. Yeah, control your movements.
Man, I just picture that puppet cartoon gif where he's just vomiting in the alleyway.
Oh yeah, that's a hilarious
That's
one.
what I picture. Just
I,
cool.
I was picturing the Family Guy, just like where they all start
Yeah.
vomiting and puking because they see each other puking.
Well, that scene from Gentlemen when the Asian
Hilarious.
guy's like, when Matthew McConaughey poisons the Asian guy's tea.
Man, but like,
Filling up pitchers
that's
with
a
chunky
disgusting.
stuff.
That is a gross image. Just pictures.
That's
just
disgusting.
Chuck E. Cheese
Imagine the videographer
pictures
just filming that dance in 120 frames, and all of a sudden, just
in the
in
back.
slow motion, Ave Maria plays in the distance.
Oh.
That'd be hilarious.
Man, the classic question: would you film it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
why not?
Deliver it? Would you deliver it? That's
make
a
that
separate
TikTok.
part. You'd use them for views.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
stay toxic.
Stay toxic.
No, I don't know. I probably
Poor
wouldn't.
bride.
I probably wouldn't. Realistically, I'd probably feel bad.
Just it sounds
so
like they were just
embarrassed.
quiet, sweet couple. I'd feel so bad.
It's one of those things too. Like it will always be brought up. pun intended. It'll always come up.
It'll just come back up.
It'll always come back up to haunt you.
Why was it just her though? That's my question.
Must have ate a cat. Maybe she had your problem. She
Maybe,
had a cashew.
Maybe she has
She has a soft
not
stomach.
stomach issues,
Maybe she has a
but-
soft stomach and she couldn't handle
immune
a cashew
system
milk.
issues. Maybe they put cashew milk in the acai
And her
bowls,
soft stomach couldn't handle it.
and the immune system kicked in.
Maybe she ate
This
a
isn't good
dragon
for
fruit
you.
acai bowl and it was all hot pink in the pictures.
Just pink pitchers
I know this
full of
person.
puke.
I've met her via proxy.
This was me dressed as
This
the
was me.
bride.
That's so gross.
Yeah, why was
I
it
don't
just
want
the
to talk about
bride
throwing
though?
up.
Why was it just the bride? Why didn't anyone else throw up? Someone's what'd she? I don't know. Maybe this is just me thinking because my wife is currently at home throwing up. Why is it just her? I'm thinking a lot about puke right
Yeah, I
now.
don't know. I've talked more about puke today than I have in a while.
Yeah,
and I don't love it.
It started with me. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It was
I'm like getting gaggy. I
it
feel
was
it in the
Kayla's.
back of my throat.
You've got a gag reflex.
Because you've been describing puke all day.
I don't puke just
You read
thinking
the
about.
story, but talk about Kayla's throwing up. I'm just like, oh, give me a break.
I don't really like gag a whole lot talking about puke. There was one where we were talking about and I was kind of like dry heaving, but like,
I'm not, but right now I'm definitely feeling it in the back of my throat.
really.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's keep
All
going.
right. It was a bloody hot summer day, and I was working alongside a very talented and well-established photographer. Being the awesome person that this photographer was, he offered to help me, or he offered to help make. Okay, let me start this over.
English. Let's
'Cause I
read.
need to
Come
clip
on.
this, you guys, and put on Instagram
this is
as one
third
coherent,
grade reading.
continuous clip. And when you don't submit these stories in proper English, it ruins our virality.
I would say punctuation's pretty good here. This is third grade level.
Yeah, but they
was a U. That was a U.
No, the words they messed up the words.
What words?
To help make move the cake table.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Come on. All right.
But come on, you can still read
It was
that.
a hot summer day. It was a
bloody
bloody,
hot
hot
summer
summer day.
day.
So this was from England. It was a bloody hot summer day. Wait, that's not even English. That's Australian.
It was a
No.
eh.
All right. It was a bloody hot summer day, and I was working alongside a very talented and well-established photographer. Being the awesome person this photographer was, he offered to help move the cake table. As he was sliding the table, the cake, ice cream interior,
Great cake.
the cake's integrity started to give out due to the heat and fell to the floor. Glad it wasn't me. Yeah, same. Never offer to help with that.
Easy solution. Easy solution. Get rid of cake cutting.
Yeah.
Another reason.
Yeah, and they always, you know what? They always put the cake in the worst spot. Always. It's just like it's like an afterthought.
Yeah.
And then someone's going to move it. And then if you're going to, what's the phrase? Expect anything that can happen will happen.
Will happen. Yeah, Murphy's Law.
Moving a wobbly cake table, usually a cocktail bar table, it's going to fall over. Those things are top heavy.
I say that's living life on the edge though, because like we say don't do it, but we've all done it.
Yeah, I try not to now though.
But
It's
the
usually
moments-
someone's job.
But the moments where you have helped, you're living life on the edge in that moment.
But I would never ask another vendor to move
same.
my lights.
Catering job.
Because if it falls over and it
yeah,
breaks,
yeah.
it's on me for letting them
Exactly.
do that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's on the baker to let them move their cake.
It's on the cake baker.
Screw the baker. It's your fault,
Well,
bro.
is it the cake baker or the catering?
Also, learn how to make an integral cake.
Well, it was ice cream and it was hot.
Don't make an ice cream cake on a hot day.
That is, yeah. Think of the logistics.
Keep it in the freezer until it's ready to be brought out.
Maybe they did, but it wasn't just a hot. It was a bloody hot
Must be
summer day.
humid.
They
I
took it
don't
out
know.
and then it just
Sucks for the
disintegrated.
photographer though.
Yeah,
That is awkward. I hate breaking people's stuff.
I do too.
I hate it.
Yeah, it is the worst.
Yeah. Like I was
Pack it up, go home.
I remember I was like 8 years old. I was in like, I don't know, I was young. And I just remember I was having a sleepover and I accidentally we were doing a pillow fight and I grabbed my friend's pillow and it caught on like a nail or something. It snagged and the case just ripped.
Oh,
Nothing big, but the case ripped. And I just hate like bringing people's stuff because they just feel so awkward and then they don't know how to like console you. Like, oh, it's not a big deal.
I saw that story going differently. Like pillow fight catches on a nail, the nail gets caught in the
No,
pillowcase.
but that same friend,
smacks him.
we bought those inflatable blow up hands.
Love
boxing
those
gloves.
things. Yeah, yeah.
He punched me in the face and we were fighting in an unfinished basement and I stumbled back and hit my head on the corner of a 2x4, and I had to go to the doctor and get staples in the back of my head. I still have
From
a
a nail?
scar. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, I got staples in my head to fix the
I
gash.
didn't know that about you.
Yeah,
Did I ever tell you how I got my 2 front teeth knocked out?
no, they fake teeth.
No, they were my baby teeth. They were my baby teeth. It was actually on New Year's. Me and my buddy Tanner Mangum, we were out there building a snow fort in the front yard, and me being the genius, I'm like, oh, I have friends over. We don't have enough shovels here. Just grab these metal shovels, not the plastic ones. So we're using just full gardening shovels, and he's just scooping away, throwing the snow back. And I went inside for a sec, got some water, and I'm coming back out, and I'm walking behind him, and he
Ooh, I
takes a
can't even hear this
huge.
story.
He just shovels the snow, throws it back. As I was walking behind him, the tip of the shovel just right into the teeth, like full on hit, full impact, right here at the top of the teeth. Metal
Most
blade
painful thing.
knocked one out instantly. Don't know where that one went. Probably planted a tooth seed in the grass somewhere. But I remember the next one was just hanging by a thread, and I was running inside like bawling. And I just remember looking down at my hands, like cupping them, and I'm seeing blood drop in there. And through the teary eyes, I see just this white little speck just drop on my teeth, into my hands. That's how I lost my 2 front teeth, with a metal shovel.
God, it was your baby teeth.
Yeah, it was traumatic.
Oh, you gave your friend
Yeah.
a metal shovel. That's on you. But also,
Yeah,
and you
it
also
was on
walked
me.
into it, so double on you.
But man,
an
what a,
idiot.
what a rush of emotions!
Oh, what a traumatic experience.
A face full of snow
Oh, that's
with
disgusting.
a metal object. Just it was traumatic. One of the top 10, maybe top 5 traumatic in my life.
Accident prone, aren't you?
Yeah, live life on the edge, baby.
Well, I think there's a difference between living life intentionally on the edge and then finding
then-
the edge, falling off it.
Giving them metal shovels.
All right,
All right, photographer.
videographer.
Photographer.
All right, you're right.
Yeah, come on. I was photographing a wedding, and everything was going great. I feel like lots of the stories always start with that, like, oh, it was going great. Wouldn't
Well, the
have
first
expected
hour is
anything.
always great. Everyone's
First
like, oh,
hours
this
ever.
is
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. Okay, I was photographing a wedding. Everything was going great. Halfway through the daddy-daughter dance, the cops showed up, stopped the dance, and arrested the bride's dad and walked him out. Wow. Apparently, the dad had a warrant out for his arrest. Mom and dad were divorced, and her mom knew he'd be there, and she called the cops.
You rat.
The bride was in tears and ran to a different room and just broke down crying. I felt so bad. It ruined the rest of the whole night. Wow.
Mom's a rat.
The mom played this dude like a fiddle.
Yeah, come to the wedding. It'll be great to see you again. 911.
She called him, dude. That is low.
I want to think it's like during the daddy daughter dance, doing a twirl, and then all of a sudden handcuffed to the ground, or a SWAT team just takes him out.
Dude, that is premeditated. He's gonna be here at this time. Cops.
That's a whole new level of passive aggressive
pettiness. Yeah. Let the bride enjoy
Also, is his dad
just
like
that.
living like out in the woods? Like, can they not find him unless he comes out in public for?
I
what-
don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Let the
also,
dad have. Also, yeah,
on the dad's part, be a little street smart. You got a warrant out.
yeah. Don't go.
Don't go.
Or if you're the mom, it's not the dad. You're ruining your daughter's day.
Yeah. Should have thought
This
that
is
through a little
Momzilla
better.
story.
Yeah. Put that under Momzilla categories.
Pathetic moms.
That's a low blow. It really
he
is.
did.
I mean, obviously the dad did something pretty intense
Probably
to
a
get.
white collar crime.
Yeah, but he had a warrant out. He did something wrong. He's not completely innocent. But come on, mom. It's not the bride's fault.
Yeah, it's horrific.
If the bride's on good enough terms to have a dance with a daddy daughter, she wants to enjoy the moment. If she didn't like the dad, if he had done something really wrong and she didn't want to, she would have said something. But
It's a lot
Come
of very
on.
cringy daddy daughter dances.
maybe it was for the best then. Maybe they were in the middle of a choreographed dance.
Oh, kill me. Some of those are so fun to watch,
They
though.
they got arrested for doing the choreograph. The cops were like, "Nope, sorry."
Some of those are so
Lock
fun
'em
to
up.
watch. But
Yeah,
yeah,
they
some of them, if there was a cop there, I'd be like,
Lock them up.
get him out of here.
It was plot twist. It was just an undercover cop that saw them bust out a choreographed dance. He's like, "Yep, sorry.
All right,
Lock them up, boys."
photographer. I was part of a crew getting ready to shoot an arranged marriage at a mosque. The ceremony was delayed for over an hour with the couple, and the imam missing. Am I saying that right?
The imam, yeah. The imam.
What is it?
Imam. Hey, Landon.
Landon, do you know what a imam is? An imam? IMAM?
It's the person who
Landon's an uncultured
it's,
swine.
It's the person who like leads the prayer.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So he was missing.
What? Yeah,
It was. It was at a mosque.
prayer. Yeah. 1 + 1. Bare minimum.
Anyway. The imam was missing. Family started to get worried that a car accident could have caused the delay. It's quite the jump.
Right.
To go from, oh, where is he? He must be dead in a car wreck. 2 hours go by and the family member shouts out to the crowd that the wedding is canceled because someone had an affair.
Wow, what a
Was it
jump.
the imam? I don't understand. I don't know who it was, nor do I know how anyone found out about it, but we still got paid for the missed wedding despite the discomfort of packing up our stuff amidst distraught family members.
Was
Why was the
family
imam
member-
late?
Lots of unanswered questions here.
Everyone just waiting around for the imam, and then all of a sudden, someone had an affair.
Yeah, they just
the wedding is
shouted
off.
out.
Is that someone the intended?
It was the imam dressed in disguise trying to get the blame off his back. Hey guys, it's delayed because someone's having an affair, and everyone goes into
Who's the
pandemonium.
someone?
I don't know.
If there's some guest that would have an affair, the wedding will still go
Yeah,
on.
why would it get? So
Also,
they're
can you have
blaming
an affair if you're not married.
Can you have an affair if
Like
you're not married?
If it's an arranged marriage and they never met each other before, I guess you're still engaged. It's your intended, right? So if like one of
are we
them
talking about?
had-
We're talking about the arranged couple.
Yeah.
Can they have an affair?
is that well? That had to be the reason the wedding got called off.
You think the person from the crowd was saying, "Hey, it's delayed because like the bride or the groom is having
Why
an
else did
affair"?
they cancel it? Yeah, had to be one of the bride or the groom, or else there would be no reason
Yeah,
to
no,
cancel
no one
it.
cares about like the wedding.
Or it
guests
was the
having an
imam,
affair.
and they're like, "Oh, he's not holy enough to perform this."
I wonder if it's imam or imam. I'm gonna look this up real quick
Google it.
so we don't come off as uncultured.
Either way, it's crazy. That's happened to a lot of my brides recently. Not a lot, but I feel like the last like 5 years, I've had a staggering amount of cancellations due to affairs.
I was about to say, has it happened a lot at your weddings where people just shout to the crowd?
No,
someone's having an
no,
affair?
it's like the wedding gets canceled before, and it's
Oh,
like
wait,
an
here we
affair.
go.
A mom.
A mom.
A mom, I was right.
A mom. Okay.
I understood. I have a keen dialect.
You do
Or-
have a good dialect or what
don't.
vernacular
Yeah.
vocab
All right, onward.
onward. Okay. Okay, videographer awkward moments. Wow, first word I saw was cocaine.
Oh,
Wow. Okay. This should be a good one.
Yeah.
I was filming a wedding and had some downtime at the reception. Of course, I take this time to run to the restroom. I noticed there were a lot of people in one stall, but didn't think too much of it. I'd be thinking a lot of that.
I would too.
I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm just going to go to the bathroom.
No, I'd
too
be
much
like,
people in
This
oh.
is weird.
Yeah, if there's more than 2 feet in that stall, I'm thinking a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot of things that I'm thinking. Maybe someone was drunk and his friends were helping him. That would be the last thing I think. The planner, longtime friend of mine, ended up telling me they were doing cocaine and other hard drugs in there. I'm shook on how a guest thinks this is a good idea to do at a wedding. Good on the videographer for assuming the benefit of the doubt. Like, oh yeah, it's just someone drunk. But man, you know there's something weird going on when there's multiple feet in a stall.
Cocaine's wild.
Cocaine's crazy.
across the board illegal, right?
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Just having a good time. Shoving poison up their brains. Snorting it.
Shoving poison up their brains.
Snorting it.
How does that happen? Snorting it?
Snorting poison. Yeah. Like coquina. What's it in Spanish?
Cocaine?
Cocaina.
A coca?
La
Well,
coca.
I guess that's different.
Coca from Narcos.
Well, the coca is like marijuana.
You ever tried cocaine?
Yeah, all the time. No. No, never.
Ever been offered cocaine?
I've been
Really?
I've been offered cocaine.
Who offered you cocaine? Was it Landon?
Landon, by the way.
Was it really?
No, it wasn't Landon.
Dallin?
It was someone in high school. Some shady buddies.
Name them.
Actually,
Are they still friends of yours?
Actually, first time I was
Still friends
offered.
of yours?
First time
was it
I was.
because of the Friendsgiving?
Yeah, plot twist. I snorted a huge line last night at Friendsgiving. No, first time I was offered cocaine without you. First time I was offered hard drugs, I was in Denver, actually. We all saw this
Denver's
coming.
a trash
We all
city.
saw this coming. We saw this coming. Me and my buddy Bridger, we were walking the streets. We were there for like some client we were filming and stuff like that. Go on. Please.
No.
Please.
Bridger's a guy I would offer cocaine to
Why?
because he looks like some of those Wall Street guys.
All
Just those
Wall Street
ripped,
people just
good-looking money guys, and you think he operates on cocaine.
yeah. We all know they just
know what I mean?
snort. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the Wolf of Wall Street guys.
But this was back before Bridger was like Wall Street money bags.
Gotcha.
Walking around Denver late at night, and we see like all the marijuana shops and stuff. And this dude comes up to them on the corner. He says, "Hey, I got some hard stuff for you." And we're like, "What are you talking about?"
Some of the white powder.
But we're both like,
That's the
we're
call of the
both we're both
streets.
curious because we're these little innocent boys from Salt Lake City.
Got you an 8-ball. That's a phrase.
And you say, I got some Coke for you. We're just like, no, we're all right. See ya.
Mexican Coke?
Run. And we just, yeah, we did. That was the first time. Other time, no, yeah, actually, I ate my words. That was the second time. First time was in high school.
Friends of yours.
I wouldn't say friends.
Are they friends now?
No, they're in the streets.
Really?
Yeah.
Serves them right.
They were like the hot kids in high school, though, that like
yeah.
all the girls were obsessed
Peak in
with.
high school?
Peaked.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
And now they're just kind of like,
Dude, all the hot people in my high school peaked.
isn't that so weird? Like your parents tell you that like, oh, the popular kids in high school, they're going to be just street trash. And you don't see it.
They are.
Yeah, and then you don't believe it, and then you see it happen, and you're like, man, it really was true. And I'm going to tell my kids that, and they're not going to believe that.
Yeah. You were popular in high school.
I was pretty popular, but I'm not street trash. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Never been offered cocaine.
Really?
I don't think.
Do you want to be offered cocaine?
Just have the story, yeah.
Just for the story,
Sounds
right?
cool. Yeah, I turned it down. I was too
Yeah,
cool
I
for
turned it down.
Yeah. Unlike you, I don't think I put myself in those situations to be offered cocaine.
Hey, I like to have my foot in a lot of crowds. I like to understand people. Helps me be more compassionate.
I don't know much about cocaine, actually.
I
I
don't
truly,
either.
I'm
What
very
does it do to you?
illiterate.
What does it do to you?
I just know Narcos, and I know like the marijuana drug dealers would always hate on the cocaine drug dealers for dealing poison. I mean, I'm thinking of heroin.
I think you're
I'm
thinking
thinking
of heroin.
of heroin.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think you're
know
thinking of
much
heroin.
about it. I don't drug.
I don't do drugs.
Do you snort it? Do you do it? Do you sniff it? Do you
Cocaine.
smoke it?
So heroin, as I
Injection.
understand, is the injection.
From breaking? No, that's meth.
Probably both. Meth
My
and heroin.
understanding of drugs comes from Breaking Bad and Narcos and The Gentleman, and that's really it.
I think heroin and meth.
Heroin's the brown powder
I don't know what color.
because I learned that from Lost.
What's the one they put on the spoon and they boil it? And I thought that.
Meth.
Are you just saying that because Breaking Bad? When
Because
they,
you can crush meth, you can do crystal meth, or then you boil meth
man,
in
we
the
are
spoon.
really showing our lack of knowledge with drugs.
Because I've
we
never
don't do
tried
drugs.
I've never done
Yeah.
them. I don't know.
No desire to. No alcohol.
Because of Breaking
I also
Bad.
have no desire to.
Jessie choked on her own vomit.
Yeah. That enough.
Back to vomit.
That's enough of I'm not. That's enough of a reason not to do cocaine or drugs.
Yeah, I don't know enough about cocaine, heroin,
I think you
meth,
snort it.
or marijuana.
I think you snort it. They roll up the dollar bills.
You
and it's
snort
it's like a
cocaine.
fine
It's
powder.
the
and you
white
just-
stuff.
Yeah.
I think of
that's
Scarface.
lots of TV
From
shows.
the
you're
Lonely
putting out
Island
here.
Jack Sparrow song when it's I'm Scarface sniffing mountains of cocaine.
Your knowledge of drugs really is
It's from pop
purely off
culture.
TV shows.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
mine's just from probably the same thing, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Although I did have some friends kind of deep in the cocaine world,
Still do
as I
don't you?
later found out.
Yeah, not my thing. No desire.
I have no desire for drugs in general or
Purely from a
alcohol.
health perspective.
Not even a religious, just health.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense to me.
But the religion argument does make sense.
I'm grateful that I was raised from the religious point of
Sure.
view, not to do hard drugs and alcohol. And I was able to realize from a health perspective why not to do drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
It's just like, I think you actually said this to me one time. If
Did you call me the wise man
we
online?
we were talking about alcohol, and the point was,
It smells like piss.
it does. But why is it that people who have never had a drink,
Oh, I did say this
you
to
did say this, and I remembered it. Like, if you've never had a drink before, and I come up to you and I say, "Hey, do you want alcohol?" and you say, "Sorry, no,
I've never drank.
I've never drank." What would I do? My response would be like, "Dude, you
freak.
gotta try. Like you're a
you have a
freak."
third eye.
Yeah. What the heck's going on? You've never tried alcohol? Here, drink this right now. Let me be the first to watch you.
But if I'm a recovering addict, 5 years sober,
I would congratulate you, bow down to you, and say, "Man, I wish I could quit like you." Why is it? So that's what led to the whole I started thinking on that a lot, and it's just like, why is it worth doing something if the day you start, the clock starts ticking to quit?
Yeah.
Smoking, alcohol,
Because we all want to be brought down to the mud together.
adult peer pressure.
Yeah. It's really, yeah.
But like, I get it. Like, people get addicted. I feel compassionate towards them, and it's hard.
I mean, it's
but-
not just, it's not alcohol. It's like the principle. Yeah. It's more than alcohol. It's really any crap in your body.
But yeah,
Oreos,
Whatever it
soda,
is. Yeah,
carbon-
whatever it
like, You know
is.
what I mean? It's just like the principle.
it is the principle. But yeah, no
So
desire
I
for hard
like
drugs.
the health principles I love, but yeah, the desire for alcohol and drugs in general doesn't exist in me.
gone. Yeah, same.
Anyway, hope
Anyway.
they had a good time at that wedding. Hope they're alive, not dead in some ditch.
Probably snorting some more cocaine.
We're injecting it,
Yeah, or
boiling it,
snort. Well, whatever
on a
you do with
spoon?
cocaine, however you
using a credit card
I think that is the cocaine that you see in the movies.
on
I
a
think,
mirror.
I think it is.
That's definitely okay.
That's cocaine. Yeah, I hope they're alive.
Yeah. All right. I was photographing.
Nice.
Guys, I am so bad at pronunciation. I was driving and we were turning to this one road, and I was like, I read that it was like Leopard Lane. And I was like, that's weird.
What park?
Leopard Lane. And I was like,
Oh, boy.
Leopard's a weird word.
Wow.
And my friend was like, yeah. And I was like, I wonder what a leopard is. I was like, I know what a leotard is. And he's like, yeah, like a snow leopard or a wild leopard. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then he didn't say anything. And then a few minutes later, he's like, I'm sorry.
Are you still
You
not
know you're
catching
talking
on?
about leopard, right? It was leopard. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know what a leopard is.
But again, back to the English language. Leotard versus leopard.
Yeah. And then,
Crazy.
same story. My wife was studying for an exam for some class, and a lot of these weird words in her note cards, flashcards, a lot of weird scientific words. So I was in that mind of like having to learn new pronunciations.
Of course.
So then one word came up, and it was something sensation. And she's like, I don't know that one. And I was like, sensation. And I was like reading the definition. And she's like, I literally don't know what that word is. And so I gave her the note card, and she's like, sensation? And yeah. And the last one, Sodalicious,
Oh,
the soda company.
yeah, yeah.
Sodalicious.
Utah. I think it's only in Utah. Right?
I always thought it was just soda licious.
Yeah.
Like Fergalicious.
Yeah,
like,
same.
Like licious something. Soda and licious. But she's like, no, it's a play on words. It's so
delicious.
delicious.
I'll
I had no idea.
I'll level with you there. That one also got me because, but it was, give ourselves some credit. There's just too many soda shops and chocolate chip cookie shops popping up in Utah every week.
Yeah.
It gets hard to keep up with the names. And there was one right next door, and I was like, oh, Sodalicious. And then it took me a while to be like, oh, Sodalicious.
Yeah.
So, hey, take it easy on yourself on that last one. But
I was photographing a wedding.
that I just read that one,
No, you didn't.
right?
Wait, what did
We're
you
like
read?
4 behind. Wait,
Oh, that's the, okay.
yeah, that was the warrant out for the dad.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. From
Yeah.
a planner.
Wow. Okay.
Scroll up on accident. All right. As planners, we all know and love rehearsals. I didn't know that about
I
the
didn't know
planner
that either.
community. Makes sense.
Why?
Planning, they plan,
Like
and
You love
the
a
more
good-
practice,
good
practice makes perfect.
good rehearsal, yeah.
Planners love and know rehearsals, unless we're usually. I
Do you want me to
really
read
am
the
not good at
story?
reading. Usually, we're hoping for them to be pretty quick because we obviously have a wedding the next day. So I get to this rehearsal ready to make it as quick as possible. I like this planner. When I arrive, the groom pulls me to the side and mentions he has some changes. I'm not alarmed because it's very normal. Well, he then proceeds to tell me that his children, 2 of his boys, have a restraining order against each other. I try to compose my face because what? He proceeds to tell me that they must stay X amount of feet away from each other at all times. We then have to rearrange the ceremony seating, discuss how family photos will go, practice the sand ceremony. Practice the sand ceremony.
The sand ceremony.
Practice the ceremony with the kids going up in different groups and have to move dinner seats. It seemed very serious, so I just made all the changes as needed. Come wedding day, my team and I had to be aware of keeping those 2 teenagers apart and have security on standby. I'm not sure when their fight was, but I still can't believe these two brothers got into a crazy enough fight that they had a restraining order at their dad's wedding. Man,
restraining
it sounds
order
like a
against
couple
each
of
other.
hellions. Do we still say hellions?
Yeah, Hellions,
older
Scallions.
phrase, but-
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, kids at weddings, man.
Well, they're grown kids.
I would have disinvited these two kids.
It sounds like they're grown
If
adults.
they can't behave as brothers,
Yeah. It sounds like they're adults.
teenagers.
Did it say teenagers? It just said his two boys.
No.
Oh, with the kids.
Yep. Last sentence. Keeping these two teenagers apart.
How old do you have to be to have a restraining order? Can you be? I didn't know teenagers
think
could
it's
have
violence.
restraining orders against each other.
I think 13, yeah. Making that up.
Yeah, I was about to say, where'd you get that number?
Makes sense.
It makes sense in my head. Yeah. What do you think they did? That
I
must have
think
been
there's those
crazy.
guys that fight.
'Cause, I
Brothers
mean-
that fight.
I mean, you fight with siblings all the time.
I didn't.
Me neither. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah.
But from what I hear, it's
Me and
pretty.
Josh wrestled.
Yeah,
every now and then.
I hear it's pretty.
But we never
normal.
like fought.
Yeah, no, me neither. I don't know why I said that.
I like
That's why I'm saying why
love to fight with my boys though. Me, you, Dallin, Sam.
like full fight.
I would love to just punch Sam in the face one day, like as hard as I possibly can.
Just to show
I
him,
know he wouldn't do anything
just
back.
to show him that his guns are useless.
Yeah.
Take his gun away and he's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing with that. A little fist in the face.
I'd love to punch him. Down would probably
Probably,
cry.
probably the nicest guy we know though is Sam.
Absolutely.
But for that reason, probably
It would be a hard. It would take a lot for me to punch him.
you'd be crying as you just delivered one right into his.
No, it'd be so satisfying. Sam bothers me all the time, and I love him to death.
Love him to death.
Two things be true at once.
Yeah, two things can be.
Yeah, I don't know. That's wild. Restraining
Yeah.
order. That's just so annoying. Don't invite them. That's just such a headache.
It's kind of crazy that it came up last minute too. Oh, hey, by the way, I know we've been talking for maybe years at this point, but my two kids have a
This just
restraining order.
happened. It must have been new.
Probably.
Family issues, man.
Benefit of the doubt. They probably fought the previous
Oh,
day.
that's so
It's
weird.
quick to file a restraining order there.
That's so weird.
Okay, just gonna move on to the next one.
Go
'cause,
on.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't have a whole lot of insight on that one. Okay, I guess my insight was I learned that wedding planners love rehearsals.
Yeah.
That's nice. Understand our planners better. Okay. This one's coming from a videographer, Awkward Moments. I had a wedding where there was. Okay. You jinxed me.
Oh, how the turntables.
You jinxed me. Okay. I had a wedding where I was filming details, the groom and bride, and once that was.
This wasn't phrased very
come
well.
on. I had a wedding where I was filming details, the groom and bride, and once that was done. Okay, this is terrible punctuation. Come on.
There
We
should be-
need
just
better
treat it like a comma.
better
Treat it
punctuation.
like a
okay?
comma.
Give me the Oxford comma. Please.
I don't even know what that is.
The Oxford comma is when you put the comma after the second item in the list. So the bride, the groom, comma, and
Oh, I don't do Oxford
details.
commas.
yeah, it's a point of debate apparently.
Bride, groom, and is just groom and.
See, I always put the Oxford comma.
It's weird.
It's Oxford,
You didn't go to Oxford though.
but it's Oxford.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is okay. I'm sorry. Let me try to do my best here. They were filming details, the groom and the bride, and once that was done, I waited for the ceremony. While filming the groom, I watched him down an entire bottle of whiskey with his boys. Well, the bride was taking a bit longer, so the ceremony was delayed. Well, when she was ready, no one could find the groom. People looked for 30 minutes, and for some reason, my mind started talking about the imam.
Yeah.
This is where he went. He was drinking with the boys, and someone just shouts out, "Hey,
Yeah.
that's fair." Okay, people looked for 30 minutes, and all the while I thought he drank a ton of whiskey. Well, after saying that to the wedding planner, she went to check the groom's room, and he was passed out cold in the closet in such a way nobody could see him. He slurred his way through the entire ceremony, vows, and the rest of the night.
Scumbag.
The bride was so upset the entire day, understandably because he was so wasted. He kept puking all over the place. I've never felt
I
so bad
hear
for a bride before.
One more puke
Stop
story tonight,
puking, please.
bro. Man, that's.
We've talked about puke. I've talked about puke
Don't
more today.
drink until after the
yeah,
ceremony.
yeah. Come on, don't be
I
down.
don't care how
in that.
nervous you are, bro. That makes it worse.
Please, yeah. Hold
Exhibit
off.
A.
Hold off. To be passed out cold in the
Bottle of
closet.
whiskey's also crazy.
I mean, this videographer also said he watched him do it. Well, when is it the videographer's point to be like, hey, man, like, would you ever be like, hey, that's a lot of
say
whiskey?
something. I would
maybe
just,
hold
you
off.
could keep it light. Like, hey, bro, I'd say that for after the ceremony.
Yeah. It sounds like they were coming up close to the ceremony. Like, I feel like
You ruined your
it's-
wedding. Congratulations.
At some
Like,
point, as a vendor, you could be like, hey, man, like, we're going on.
Yeah.
Maybe hold off. But I don't know how well he holds his liquor. So,
not well.
I probably
He's
would've-
puking everywhere.
Yeah.
Like a child.
man, I would be so pissed if I was the bride, which it sounds
Yeah.
like she was. I would be fuming.
It's just the one day of the year. Like, it's the one
Fuming.
event that everyone's just asking you to be on your best behavior. I know, like, regardless of how you like to party, your wedding isn't about that, man. It's about, especially if it means more to your bride, just be a pleasure on your wedding day.
Yeah.
And then party at the reception.
yeah, have fun.
Get
After the reception.
Poop-faced.
Yeah, after the reception with your bride. Like, if you guys drink,
Party.
go drink to your
Yeah.
heart's desire.
but read your vows.
Come on. Have some class.
Class.
Have some class.
Not classy. All right, the last story. Videographer. I was a videographer filming a wedding at an LDS temple. We were having a great time. The photographer and I have worked together several times, and we both had second shooters helping us shoot the wedding. The bride and groom were very adventurous, and we were having a lot of fun by the time we made it to the bridal party section of the photos. So for those who don't know, temple exits, they'll exit the temple, everyone cheers, they'll do huge family photos, they'll do all the family photos after the exit, and then they'll move into bridal party photos before the reception. We wanted to do a groom toss. We always do this photo.
Classic.
We do as well.
Love it.
The bride and groom were okay. They used the wrong word. They used WEAR. It's were WERE. Also, Apple always autocorrects my were to we are.
Hate
Always.
that. I hate that.
Like, read the sentence.
It also well, I think because you and I text so much in caps, whenever I say Jacob, it just replaces it to all capital Jacob.
We're always auto caps as well.
Yeah, so I just don't even bother. But anyway, go on.
Okay. The bride and groom were asked beforehand. Okay, and then
Oh wow, it just did the autocorrect.
okay, so they said we're asked beforehand, WEAR, and we're okay, WE''RE. They should be flip flopped.
So just to give people a perspective how hard it is to read these stories sometimes, if you would have read that the way it was written, it would have said
bride
we
and groom-
always do this photo. The bride and groom
Where?
asked beforehand, and we are okay with doing it.
Yeah. So
We're translating on the go,
guys,
people.
this
We're
story is
trying.
coming with some duct tape on it, but bear with me. The bride and groom were asked beforehand, and we're okay with doing the groom toss photo. So we had them toss the groom. The first two tosses were fine. Crazy that you can't get it done in two tosses,
Yeah,
by
that's
the way.
wild.
I can
Come on.
always get it done in the second toss. First toss, the first
Most
toss,
times, 99% is first toss.
90% is wild. No,
I'd say 90%.
no,
90% one done.
really?
Yeah.
Not
You
mine.
like to do multiple. Because
Because-
you like to just
because-
belittle them and say, that was
Yes.
weak. That was
Well-
weak. Look at this video on my phone, guys. I want this.
Guys, I have this video on my phone of a man flying. No, because I don't think anybody really knows their potential until I tell them you can go better.
True.
And then they take it as a point of pride.
Yeah.
And they launch the guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I never go 3 times.
No.
Never.
Max 2.
Yeah. The first tosses were fine, but the groom's feet were covering his face and I ended up not getting the groom into frame. Okay, again, your problem, right? you skill issue here. So your angle, the groom's face were covered. The groom's face was covered. I ended up not getting the groom into frame, so we asked them to do it a third time, but we asked them to throw him a little higher in the back.
Oh,
I'll
gosh.
get into this later. We mentioned several times during this that they had to catch the groom. Unfortunately, they threw him so high in the back that it ended up falling through everybody's hands and hitting the ground. At LDS temples, the ground's concrete, so he hit very hard. He fortunately saved his head, but his back and his butt hit the ground very hard. We were all shocked by this, and we're happy to see him jump up. Shortly after this, though, the adrenaline and pain got to him, and he ended up passing out for over 2 minutes at the temple.
Oh my gosh.
In the moment, it was very awkward and scary. Your fault as well. And they also had to call an ambulance. Oh, almost called an ambulance. After a few minutes, he came to and was okay. The rest of the day, he was in great spirits and wanted to show everybody that video that I had gotten of him falling.
Your fault for doing it more than 2 times.
Yes.
100%.
let me teach the videographer and photographer community how to toss a groom. So, and I've done this multiple times. You really only need 4 guys, 6 guys max. Everyone else, grab an ankle, just be in the shot.
4 guys.
Let me explain.
Okay.
No, okay. 4 guys. There's 4 guys who do the most work.
I agree.
Okay. But yeah, you usually need 6, I'd say. The biggest guys should be at his thighs and shoulders.
You need the thigh guys.
Those 4 guys, the 4 biggest guys should be on the thighs and the shoulders. That's where all the meat is. That's where all the weight is.
Yeah.
They launch. Put the biggest guys on the thighs. The back guys just help get them up there. Then the other 2 guys will usually grab the ankles, the calves, or the middle and the waist. But always tell them, and then also have them do a trust fall. So line up those guys, put the strong guys in those spots, and have the groom trust fall back into their arms, and then teach them to bounce the groom, okay, on the knees, and then on 3, launch them in the air. And then also, if you're the videographer or photographer, be off at an angle so that you don't miss the shot.
Yeah, you never film it straight
Never, 'cause it's a crotch
towards
shot.
the crotch. Yeah, you don't want to do that. You'll see a lot of weird stuff.
We filmed a bride
Yeah, I was
Toss.
about to talk. Yeah, I was
Dead
about
on.
to say that. You can't
in
do
one of our
that.
first years, and you
That's
learn
probably
quickly.
that's when you learn. Cuz you're shooting up and then they go in the air and you see just a dress.
And you don't see it in the moment because you're like filming whatever, and then they
But in
watch it
the
back with
editing
you
room-
live, and you're like, we
Yeah.
can do it again.
Or in the editing room,
Yeah.
you're just going in slow mo and you're just like,
So I have 2 horrible stories about groom tosses. I don't usually do them except for usually the LDS weddings. Not very common in our current market.
Yeah.
Usually the younger crowd who wants
Yeah.
to do it with the big
Right.
groomsmen parties. But I have 2 horrible stories. One, same thing. They tossed him and just no one caught him. And there were like 12 guys, but it was the first try and he flew and they all like were just watching him and then no one caught him.
Right.
And he literally just fell onto the grass.
I can't believe it needs to be told you need to
It
catch
should be
him.
self-explanatory.
Yeah.
And the second time was the groom got tossed in the air, and they were all wearing boutonnieres. The groom and all everyone was wearing boutonnieres, and
With the pins.
groom came down. You're flailing, and his hand hit a boutonniere that had a pin in it,
It wasn't the magnet.
and it sliced his hand open. And he didn't feel it because you don't feel it in the moment. But then we were all looking around at each other, and there's just blood on everyone's white shirts. And everyone's like, "Who's bleeding?" And the groom was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm bleeding."
Sliced his hand
Yeah.
open.
Just a pin, just cut it like a really deep paper cut.
I think a very strong argument could be made for canceling groom toss.
I think it was really cool 10 years ago.
It's
I
a
think
fun shot.
I
It's
think
a fun
it's pretty
shot to
dated.
get. It is a really fun shot to get, but it's kind of like I would never put that on a luxury wedding film.
I think it's dated.
Maybe.
I think it's fun for young,
Yeah.
and everyone who does it usually is like 20 years old.
You want to know what I like a lot better is when they do like the chair thing, like when the bride and groom are in the chair.
Did you?
I was about to say, I have a terrible story about a groom toss, and
you
it
get
was
tossed?
it was my own one.
You got tossed?
I got tossed,
I tossed you?
and guess what happened? I
wasn't
got
there.
dropped, and you were the best man.
I was. I don't think I was there.
And I feel like it is the best man's job to say, "Hey guys, we're about to toss this guy in the air."
I did. I definitely
And
did.
we need to catch him.
I definitely said
and
that.
I was dropped
Okay,
on the
in my
ground.
defense, you had 30 groomsmen.
I did have a lot.
I can't communicate to your 30 boys.
You're the best man.
I tried. I orchestrated
You
the
got to
toss.
just speak. You got a good voice. You speak up.
I'm
I've
pretty sure-
seen you direct crowds.
I've actually
of
seen this
100
photo.
people.
I've actually seen this photo.
I was up there. Man.
texting
And
Courtney.
I landed pretty hard on the ground.
Courtney, ASAP, send the picture of Nate's wedding where he is tossed. Okay, I remember these pictures and the video because if you'll look at it, I'm pretty sure I'm holding your leg as you're on the ground. One could say I was the only one
I
who
appreciate
caught
that.
you.
I appreciate that actually. I want to see that
should have
evidence.
fallen
though.
under
I want
you.
to see that evidence. Yeah.
Yeah. I had 30 guys. I'm surprised no one caught you.
Yeah. I'm not a big guy. You know. They should have caught me.
You're just small.
No, I'm small little.
You're dense.
I'm a dense one.
You're dense.
Yeah, I'm a
You're
little
heavier than
dense.
you look.
But I was surprised when I felt the ground.
Yeah. No one should be dropped.
Yeah, again, it's just crazy. You have to even tell people, hey, make sure you catch him.
He's
after
gonna
you
go
throw him.
up.
He's gonna go up. Make sure he comes down
He'll also
into
come
your
down.
arms. Because I've been part of bridal or groom parties where I was like the only person who caught it. My boy Justin that we threw in the air. We have a picture of me just holding him. I caught him.
I've seen those weddings where one guy catches him.
Yeah, I caught him.
Or he falls on one guy.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, strong argument could be made to just cancel the groom toss.
I don't love them. I think they're dated. I think it's one of those things too. I think when I say cancel wedding traditions, it's like 90% true because there's always like a case where I'm like, you know what, with that couple, that personality, that party, it works. But I'd say for the most part, it doesn't.
Here's what I would say though: is we don't do them on concrete.
No, that was stupid.
What temple was
Also,
this at?
Also,
I bet we've
there's
done
no
a groom
reason
toss
that this
on
needed
grass.
to be an LDS story.
Yeah,
Because like in LDS temples have concrete. I'm like, well, so does every venue, but every LDS temple also has
a patch of grass. Exactly. I want to know what temple this was at, and I bet we have done a groom toss there on a patch of grass.
I have been seeing a new trend when they toss the bride and they put the drone over the toss.
I like that actually. It looks
kinda
cool.
fun.
It looks kind of fun.
I would never do that though.
Yeah,
personally,
just
I think against it.
if you're on concrete, don't do the groom toss. Just stay
I
away
would
from it.
never do a groom toss on concrete.
That's actually super scary though. That he got up and he was just walking around and then he passed out 2 minutes
His
later.
tailbone hurts, man.
Well, like
You know,
that's
he took his pants off that night, and there's a big purple raspberry.
probably ruined his wedding night.
Yeah. His wife's like, "Ooh, not as
Sorry.
attractive as I thought your butt would be."
Can't do much here. Oh yeah,
Courtney's just in those photos.
yeah. No, I want to see him.
I hope you're on the ground and holding your ankle and just looking at the camera like, "Sorry, Nate."
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I blame my other boys too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I keep learning a lot over this podcast. It's most of the stories come in from like first year. It was my first year, second year doing this. I feel like we don't have a whole lot of stories to tell. Like we have like some petty stories of things that happen,
I'm very petty.
but we don't have any like crazy things that happen. Probably because we're not doing, groom tosses on the cement. We're not seeing, the cocaine and the stall thing. Maybe
Yeah,
that can
we
happen
just
in
did a
ours.
groom toss. When was it? And a bride toss at a temple wedding.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was cute because
It
it was
was.
like totally
It
their
was.
personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wasn't saying like we don't do it on concrete to slam this videographer because I have in my first
On
year.
concrete.
I did. But it wasn't like a full on like as high as you can go. It was just kind of like toss them in the air. And the photographer brought it up and I was kind of at the point where I was like, okay, if they want to do it, sure, I'll capture it.
Pictures coming in hot. You flew.
I was high up there. Yeah.
And look
I
at
was up
all
there.
the men, and no one caught you.
Let me see the picture.
Ooh, I am just kind of standing over you. I need the in between though.
Man, you are just looking me down.
Maybe gravity just came too far and you fell through our hands.
Dude, yeah, no, you're not. You were a foot guy. You weren't even doing a lot of the
I'm
work.
a foot guy. I'm an anti. I hate feet.
But you're near my feet.
yeah, I wasn't one of. You have some big guys.
There were some big
I
guys.
wasn't nominated to be on the thighs or back. I was put on the ankles.
Yeah.
because they all saw like this little. Hey, look at me. 2021 Jake was a.
Man, you were
was,
skinny.
Was a dark moment. Of,
You were skinny.
Of my. I have dark moments every year. I think I look back every year and think, oh, I hate myself.
You look really skinny.
I was. But that week, my sister came to visit, and that's when I had like a whole body insecurity
The
moment with
skinny
her.
jean thing.
And with this huge talk, and we threw away all my skinny jeans.
Yeah, wow, I'm on the ground there. Everyone's just looking at me.
I also hated my haircut back then.
No, it's okay. Yeah,
Spencer by this position, Spencer was on your thighs, and Landon was on your back.
why was Landon near the back? I love you, Landon, but
Not a back guy.
not a back guy. Yeah, I got high up there though, so I don't blame it. And
were
like they did
flying.
break the fall. You know,
They caught Kayla though.
They caught Kayla. She went pretty high up there too.
Yeah, you tossed her. You're like,
Yeah.
I fell. I'm not trusting anybody to touch
Yeah,
my
I was
wife.
like, no one is doing this to Kayla unless I'm in there.
That's why I wasn't invited to do the bridal toss.
That's also a hilarious part of the wedding day with the bridal toss. It's like because all the guys feel so awkward. Who goes towards the waist
grabs
butt
the butt?
area? So I wanted to help everyone and be like, yeah, I'll just go in. I'll do the butt area. You know,
You just wanted to
I'll
touch her
just-
butt.
Yeah, of course. But
can say it.
it's always so awkward from my opinion, it's awkward when the groom doesn't hop in for the bridal, the bride
Some guy's
toss.
in the butt.
Because if he's like at the shoulder, some dude's on the butt.
Or if you grab like under the butt and the back, you're not doing it right. Like you have to grab,
Yeah.
because even like when we grab the groom's toss, you're usually cupping the cheeks.
There's some cupping going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you're the groom throwing your bride in the air, if you choose to do that, assume the butt.
Same with crowd surfing.
Exactly.
It's awkward. You gotta have really a lot of confidence.
You gotta have
Or
a
just
lot.
not care
You
who's
gotta have a
touching
lot
you.
of confidence. Like when you see people jump into the crowd and like they always jump pretty much face down and then they rotate, but to see them turn back face down, to have your whole front area exposed to a bunch of hands of
Yeah, I would
random
always
people.
go back down. I also would love a shot of a wedding of the drone, someone crowd surfing, like Chris Angel,
Yeah,
just the top down drone
yeah,
shot.
that'd be cool. That would be cool.
Man, yeah. Groom tosses,
Groom tosses.
awkward moments for sure.
Yeah. Terrible moments.
Yeah. I feel like the last episode and this episode are both awkward moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what the
We
kitchen's
do our
all about.
best.
And I think we're in December now. Well,
Yeah, we're in December.
So
We're in December.
maybe we'll have a Christmas episode where we should get ahead.
We should
and
definitely
wear
have a
Santa
Christmas
hats.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Santa aprons or something.
Also, I was looking at mugs. What's our budget for custom mugs, by the way?
I mean, at this point, we're spending like $20 an episode on chocolate.
Yeah.
So
because I
we
found
can
mugs,
spend
but they cost like $300 each.
$300.
Well, if you want to buy mugs in bulk,
we don't.
you have to buy like 50.
Why do we want to buy them in bulk?
That's the thing.
We
You,
ca-
you either
you
buy,
either buy it or you don't.
or because if you want like a custom engraving, like I want
Yeah.
Chester on our mug, you have to.
Is
I
that
named him Chester. You have to
Unofficial.
pay for that individual one, and it's just like it's expensive. You're doing a one-off, but if you order in bulk, you get like 30. But I'm like, we don't have guests on. We don't do that.
if people want a mug, let us know.
It might be good to have. Yeah.
But I would love to be sipping some
It's
tea,
mugs.
some tea, and with a
Sip the
mug.
tea, spill the tea.
But yeah, I would say our budget probably isn't allocated towards if
Maybe one of our sponsors can buy us some mugs.
please. But no, that's that does it for this episode. I'd say, unless you feel like you have anything else to say,
No.
please do submit awkward moments because these are some of our favorite episodes. Seriously, this was as we said at the very beginning, this was our first sequel,
Yeah.
and we loved the first one. We loved the second one.
Making strides in the podcast world.
So if you have any more awkward moments, whether you're a photographer, videographer, photo booth lady,
Organist,
organist, pianist, whatever it is,
cellist.
please let us know. Submit it
Harpist.
in the link that we'll put in the description to wherever you're watching or listening to this. And that does it for this episode.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.